Barcelona's 25-26 game plan is something that feels more like a warning to the rest of Europe than a simple footballing project. This isn't a team talking about winning matches or collecting trophies. At Barcelona, under Hansi Flick, it's about how you win, how you play, and how that performance reverberates through the fans, the players, and the entire community. Joy is at the heart of it, but not the kind of joy that comes with scraping victories. It's the joy of domination, of imposing yourself so completely on your opponent that the game becomes an exhibition. That is why when Barcelona wins now, they don't just win. They win well, and they win in a way that feels inevitable. At the heart of this nightmare for Europe stands Flick, a German tactician who inherited a club drowning in chaos and turned it into a monster so ruthless and so perfectly engineered that it now terrifies the continent. His first miracle was resurrecting the stars many thought had burned out. Raphinha rediscovered his explosive brilliance. Robert Lewandowski, dismissed as too old, began scoring with the hunger of a striker reborn. Pedri and Frenkie de Jong finally took command of midfield battles the way Barcelona fans had always dreamed. Jules Koundé became an unshakable defensive pillar. Marcus Rashford found his fire again, and even Eric García, once written off, looked renewed inside Flick's system. But Flick wasn't done. He unleashed the next generation of La Masia, and under his guidance, raw potential turned into unstoppable force. Lamine Yamal, at just 18, is now considered the best player in the world. Alejandro Balde became a locomotive down the left. Fermín López, described as a soldier of war, now acts as a universal chess piece in Flick's grand design. Pau Cubarsí, still a teenager, already looks like the generational defender he was promised to be, while Marc Casado and Bernal have stepped up to prove they belong. Even beyond La Masia, Flick built depth like no other manager in recent memory. He brought back Dani Olmo, now one of Europe's most dangerous super subs. He pulled Wojciech Szczęsny out of retirement, and more impressively, molded Jong Garcia into one of the most promising goalkeepers on the continent. He added future stars like Rooney Bargji, shaping a squad that is both deep and deadly. But Flick's greatest achievement isn't tactical or even technical. He forged a family, a unit that doesn't just follow his philosophy but lives it. The results speak for themselves. Barcelona stormed to their first ever domestic treble, smashing records with 174 goals in one season, the most terrifying attack in Europe. And somehow Flick has managed to make them even scarier this year. The midfield has been transformed into the most dominant engine in world football. Pedri and Frenkie de Jong don't just control games anymore, they suffocate them. The ball circulates faster, the positioning is smarter, and when combined with a lethal front line, a maturing defense, and an invincible goalkeeper, Barcelona has become a machine that doesn't just win, it overwhelms. Everything at Barcelona still begins with three words: pressure, possession, and position. These are the three pillars of Johan Cruyff's philosophy, first planted in the late 80s and carried forward by legends like Pep Guardiola. Cruyff's DNA is the reason Guardiola was chosen over Mourinho, the reason Barcelona kept faith in its philosophy even in times of chaos. Managers from Guardiola to Luis Enrique, from Tito Villanova to Xavi, all tried to honor that foundation. Flick belongs to the rare group of outsiders who didn't just respect it but revitalized it. He admitted openly that his vision of football aligned with Barcelona's. He studied the Dutch school, absorbed Cruyff's ideas, and applied them in his own way. But unlike many before him, Flick didn't just replicate. He modernized, adding his German ruthlessness to the mix. Under Xavi, Barcelona became predictable, easy to read. Flick tore that predictability apart. His Barcelona now moves in layers, using an asymmetric 4-2-3-1, suffocating opponents with pressing, granting positional freedom to his stars, and daring to hold a high defensive line that traps rivals offside again and again. Off the pitch, his revolution has been just as intense. Team meals are mandatory. Lateness is not tolerated. Sleep patterns are monitored. Complacency does not exist. Flick is calm, approachable, and close to his players, but his rules are non-negotiable. Everyone knows the standards and everyone knows the consequences of breaking them. That clarity has created complete buy-in. Perhaps his bravest move has been his unwavering trust in youth. Yamal, once carefully protected, was thrown into the fire with full trust, and he rewarded Flick with 18 goals, 25 assists, decisive Champions League performances, and the title-winning strike in La Liga. Pau Cubarsí has become untouchable at the back. Fermín López matured into a powerhouse. Even Hector Fort and Gerard Martin were given minutes in high-pressure matches. Flick's belief in them turned prospects into game changers. The numbers from last season were staggering. Barcelona humiliated Real Madrid 4-0 and 5-2. They destroyed Bayern Munich 4-1, 19 big wins in a single campaign. Raphinha finished with 34 goals and 25 assists. Lewandowski with 42 goals. Yamal with 18 goals and 25 assists. Just those three alone produced 94 goals, more than Real Madrid's entire La Liga squad combined. This wasn't just dominance. It was cruelty, and yet Flick refused to rest. His second season has been just as merciless. Valencia already felt the sting of a 6-goal demolition. Barcelona continues to score with frightening ease. The only debt left unpaid is the Champions League, the crown jewel they must reclaim. But Flick knows the jungle that awaits. Liverpool under Arne Slot, PSG under Luis Enrique, Bayern Munich led by Vincent Kompany, and a Real Madrid shaped by Xabi Alonso. Flick understands he cannot simply repeat last year's formula. He has to evolve again. That evolution begins in midfield, where Pedri and Frenkie have become the most unstoppable duo in Europe. Pedri, once plagued by injuries, is now indestructible, thanks to Flick's medical and physical programs. He played 56 of 57 matches last season and transformed from fragile promise to relentless engine. Every attack flows through him. Every tempo bends to his intelligence. Frenkie complements him perfectly, progressing the ball when they have it, winning it back when they don't, and launching devastating counters. Together, they have become Barcelona's heartbeat, the reincarnation of Xavi and Iniesta with a modern twist. Behind them, Flick reshaped the defense, trusting Kubarsi as its leader. The teenager, partnered with rotating veterans like Christensen, Araujo, and Garcia, has already shown the maturity of a captain. On the wings, Balde and Koundé provide relentless pace and build-up quality. In goal, Jong Garcia has emerged as the revelation of the season. With the highest save percentage in Spain and reflexes that defy logic, he has already produced miracle stops in both La Liga and the Champions League. Even Szczęsny admitted the young keeper is destined to become the best in Spain, while his own role is now mentorship. And then comes the attack, the nightmare factory. Rashford, once discarded at Manchester United, is thriving again, scoring in Europe and providing balance to the left flank. Lewandowski, the man critics said was finished, continues to deliver goals at an inhuman rate. Ferran Torres has become the shark in waiting, hunting every loose ball and chasing the Pichichi trophy. Raphinha, last season's talisman, remains the heartbeat of the attack. And at the top of it all, Yamal, the crown jewel, is now the most unstoppable player in world football. Every game, whether for Barcelona or Spain, he scores or assists. Defenses can't contain him. Take away his space and he finds an assist. Give him room and he'll kill you with a goal. He has become Flick's ultimate weapon. What Flick has built is terrifying because it is complete. It's not just talent or tactics. It's structure, discipline, freedom, and family. It is a Barcelona that no longer hopes to win. It expects to. Europe has seen dominant teams before, but rarely one so young, so balanced, and so ruthless. And the scariest part? Flick isn't done yet. He is not just chasing trophies. He is building inevitability. So now the question looms, can anyone stop Barcelona, or are we witnessing the rise of a dynasty that will dominate Europe for years to come? Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Flick's Barcelona is truly unstoppable, or will someone find a way to crack the code? And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more deep dives into the biggest stories in world football.